Guys, we had a little mishap in our filming of our episode of LBS Talks. The audio on the recording device was off. I mistakenly did not press the record button. So anyway, so the beginning of the interview, the audio is not so good, but towards the end, I find out that I didn't press record and I pressed it. So anyway, here it is.
Snapchat, but on Instagram.
What is the Snapchat?
I don't even know what my Snapchat is. Let's not give that out. Kelly will get mad.
Well,
that's only for personal.
Select users.
few.
Select views.
Yeah, just select views.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. So, how old are you?
I am 29.
29 years old.
Yes.
A young little guy. Gonna turn 30 next year.
Well, this year.
This year? Oh, gonna be in the big 3-0
in November. Yeah, man, getting old.
All right, so give us some background. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Cuba. I'm Cuban. I came over here when I was 8, not on a boat. I came over here when I was 8. My parents actually, my mom won kind of like the lottery kind of thing over there. So if you win the lottery, basically you write a letter to the government why you want to come over here, and they picked you out of like thousands of people. So
right.
They picked my mom. So we have access granted to come over here. So we had to come up with the money and stuff like that. But originally I came over when I was 8. Came over to Florida. I was living in the Florida Keys for probably about 15 years or so.
How was that living in?
It was good. I mean, growing up it was all right. I mean, kind of miss it a little bit now because of the weather,
right, and
the beach and stuff like that. But there wasn't really anything else to do down there if you had nothing to do with the ocean or anything. So it's a really small town, like really small. Well, you come from the Hawaii and stuff like that. It was similar to that.
Yeah. Technically, both islanders.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's actually called a key, but whatever. Then about 5 years ago, I moved here to Fresno. Well, to Fresno first, and then over here.
So let's back up for a second.
Yeah.
Because this is very interesting.
Yeah. This is going to be a very interesting thing.
This is very interesting because do you even remember Cuba?
I do. Yes, I do remember.
So what's the difference? Cuba's a socialist state.
Yeah.
Or country, or whatever you want to refer to it as, compared to America. Well, do you remember as a kid the difference between?
Yeah, I really don't remember as much as the whole what my parents had to go through and stuff like that. But as far as for me, the only thing I can remember is they give you food for the beginning of the week, right? So they'll give you if you have 5 members in your family home, they'll give you 5 pieces of bread, a gallon of milk, and a gallon of yogurt. So you had to survive. And I think they gave you a pound or 2 pounds of meat, like ground beef or whatever. You had to survive through that, through the whole week or the whole month, or every 2 weeks. I forget how often they did it. Basically, you had to, if you were hungry and you didn't have any more food, you had to pretty much go on your own and try to solve that problem.
What you had to
do
to survive.
Exactly. Other than that, I don't remember as much as I play with my friends and stuff like that. I went to school. I had to walk to school. Over there, it's kind of different. They let you. There's a kind of like a breakfast at 9 o'clock in school, and then from there, there's lunchtime. At lunch, you can go home if you want, walk home, or you can stay there. Other than that, I don't remember as much. I mean, I remember climbing trees and stuff like that,
normal kid stuff.
Yeah, normal kid stuff. Getting in trouble. Just normal kid stuff.
So,
and the electricity went out every other day. So the government would cut the electricity off, right?
The infrastructure.
Right. So basically, when they cut the electricity off, my parents had these fold up, I don't even know if they're beds, I don't know what they were called. They were just fold up things that you lay on, right?
Called futons.
Yeah, something like old fashioned, wide, where you fold them up. They have woods and stuff like that. They'll put on top of the roof because we didn't have any air conditioning. It was really humid and hot. So we would sleep on top of the roof most of the time, or outside. So everybody would go outside when they cut the electricity off, and pretty much just hang out outside, sleep.
Super interesting.
It's crazy, and then they'll cut the water as well off. And actually, I was talking to Kelly about this yesterday because she didn't believe me that we would have to go to a well and pick up the water, like buckets of water, when they cut the water off, so we can shower and have clean water and stuff like that. We also had to do that. I didn't do that. My parents did that, but I was like 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah, we complain here, first world country problems, and
it's crazy.
Running water. I mean, Jesus.
I don't know if they still like that. I haven't gone back to Cuba.
Right. I'm sure that it's different.
I'm pretty sure it's way different now. But I probably didn't realize how much the struggle was back then because I was just a kid.
That's just normal life.
Yeah, and my parents were like taking care of everything else. Right. They were probably like stressed and struggling.
Right.
And but yeah, I remember parts of it. Yeah.
So, growing up in Cuba, you spoke Spanish.
Yeah, I spoke Spanish.
Or did they speak English? Yeah.
No, they spoke Spanish.
So
they probably spoke English somewhere else.
Right. So when you came to the Florida Keys and eventually in Florida, was it a hard transition?
When I came to the Florida Keys, I started 3rd grade again. Right. So I didn't know any English or anything. I hated school. Yeah. I didn't know any English.
Makes it harder.
I hated school.
Right.
Like, even back in Cuba, I hated school. Like, my mom used to whoop me and stuff like that, just because that was just a normal thing, I hated school. I didn't know any English. They have classes for, foreign kids that come over.
Right.
It's called ESOL. It's weird. It's called ESOL. There, they teach you pretty much the basics. But overall, I learned English, with my friends that I started making and watching cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny that you say that. A lot of people learn another language by watching TV in that language. Yeah. It's very that's how you learn. All right, so grew up, your adolescence, teenagehood, adulthood, all in Florida.
All in Florida.
And then 5 years ago, so you moved to California about 23?
Yeah, around there, 23, 24, around there. So I started I got into lifting weights because I used to get bullied.
Right.
I used to be a fat kid.
Sure.
Chubby. I used to play sports and all. I was really good at sports. I was really good at baseball. And I had like a full scholarship and everything to go to universities and everything because I was really good at it. But my grades were not that good. Right. So I would have like the minimum GPA. But, when that went, to shit, I started lifting because I used to get picked in school and, just your average little chubby kid, I used to get picked on. So I started lifting, didn't know anything about lifting, got more into the whole Instagram thing.
Right.
Started my own page and stuff like that. And a company actually reached out to me. And I still didn't know that much about lifting or anything like that. This is probably when I was like in my 22s, 21, around there. And they wanted me to fly out to Los Angeles for a photo shoot that they had at Muscle Beach. It wasn't really like a huge professional photo shoot,
right,
because to be inside Muscle Beach itself, you have to pay them like a certain amount of money to be able to take pictures from the inside, but you can take pictures from the outside. So the whole photo shoot was kind of like
on the border of
yes. So it wasn't like, they flew me out, and it was a small company starting out.
Right.
The company was Get Fit No Excuse. So at that time I was like, into the whole bodybuilding thing,
right,
and the whole fitness thing. So I've never been on a plane since I got to the United States. So flew out to Los Angeles and did the whole photo shoot thing, which I didn't, I really didn't know what I was doing either way. I was just lifting weights.
Sure.
And went good. I saw how California was, how popular it was in the whole fitness thing. And from there, I was like, man, I just love it over here. If this is something that I want to do. And at that time, like, taking in mind that I thought I was going to be a professional bodybuilder.
Sure. Everybody.
Yeah, like
everybody
I was like,
should.
man, I'm going to be on stage and stuff like that.
Right.
So I liked California, and I decided to, to move over here. By the time I was with my baby mama as well. So my daughter was not born or anything like that. She had family over here. And I saved up a little bit of money, and I think like probably like a year later, I ended up moving over here to Fresno.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's because that's where your baby's mom is.
Right. Well, she had family here at the time, but part of me moving over here as well was because I wanted to pursue that whole fitness thing. You
right.
know? At that time, my daughter was not born or anything.
Oh, okay.
So
just
we basically moved over here.
Okay.
So with her family at the time. Yeah.
Okay. So what started the transition from or how long did you pursue bodybuilding until that point where you made that transition?
Bodybuilding was probably like a few years, like a couple of years, I would say. It was on and off. I never actually got on stage or anything like that.
Right.
You know, I went to a whole bunch of like phases, like, oh, I want to get as big as possible.
Right.
Oh, I want to cut down. Oh, I don't know what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I started learning my body a little bit more, like researching a whole bunch of stuff online, and it came to the point that I figured how it was being judged. Like, I'm gonna do all this stuff to my body and have somebody else that doesn't even lift judge me. Right. So I kind of wanted like to pursue something differently when I started realizing how actually bodybuilding worked and the whole, you know, getting on stage or competing like that. And I wanted to, you know, I didn't want nobody to judge me. If I were to win, it was because of me. You know right. what I mean? So I found powerlifting. That's when I found powerlifting. So I was into bodybuilding for about a couple of years, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, going back to competing in bodybuilding, I've never done it either, but people do say that it is more of a popularity contest.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, the more popular person on stage, even though they might not have the physique that you have, might end up winning.
Right.
And bodybuilding is hard.
It is hard.
It's not just it's not just going.
I went through so many like phases.
It's
just crazy.
It's hard on the body, the amount of food you have to intake, the amount of
drugs. If you want to be a very competitive person,
right?
And there's a lot of people don't say those things or don't really, you know, go into that topic. But there's a lot of drugs that go into
absolutely. There's no way
anything, even powerlifting or bodybuilding.
Right.
If you want to be one of the best of the best.
Sure. Yeah. That's just
that's the way it goes.
One of the necessities of becoming a top level
right.
person.
Yes.
Right. All right. So we've made the transition into powerlifting basically because well, let me ask you.
Because I was too fat. I did not want to die at all.
Let me ask you this question: were you always the strongest person in the gym?
No. So I kind of like figure like maybe I have something, you know, like I don't know. Maybe to this day I still think I'm like I have something special,
right?
You know, because even with my whole bodybuilding thing that I used to like, you know, go into the gym or anything, I would deadlift, you know, 400, 500 pounds like it was nothing,
right?
But I didn't really even think anything of it. Now that I, you know, later on I'm like, man, I was like maybe I do have something, you know what I mean? So no, I wasn't always the strongest one in the gym, but I always was the one that stayed there the longest, that worked the hardest, pretty much.
Yeah, I worked everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. I would like, you know, even when the bodybuilding thing, I was like, I would stay training for like 3 or 4 hours, like no lie. I didn't know anything about it, so I was just going through the movements again. It was crazy. It was like, if you would have saw me, you're like, what are you doing? It was nuts.
You would have ended up on those gym memes.
Yeah,
gym
pretty much.
Memes.
Yeah, and a lot of my training from the whole bodybuilding thing was from Animal Pack.
Yes.
You know, if you go to Animal Pack, they have a forum.
Hey, okay.
And they have
a little flashback.
Yeah.
Okay, remember these ads in Muscle and Fitness or MD Magazine? The animal. It was just black and white.
Yes.
And it would just have that one liner or some hey, those used to fire me up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
the simple they were the best advertisements for bodybuilding.
It pumped me up.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I'm gonna look like that guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look like that guy.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. And one of the funny story is like one of the I read somewhere one of the guys like I was trying to get bigger, right? And the guy's like, yeah, I go to McDonald's and eat like 3 double quarter pounders, and I did that every day, like not knowing how unhealthy that was.
Wait, you did that?
Yes.
Yeah, because somebody else.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm gonna get as big as that guy.
Yeah.
So
that's the secret.
Yeah,
that's the secret.
And they got to the point that I got pretty big, but it was just sloppy. It was just ridiculous. I'm like, and I thought I was a shit, man. I was like, man, I thought I was the shit. And this is before I got into California. Over there, it's a small town, so there's literally like 30 to 40 people, right? You know pretty much everybody.
Right.
So if you're big there, like everybody's gonna know you, like, and you. I mean, I thought I was a shit. I was like, man,
fucking superstar.
Yeah,
look at me.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm eating like stuffing like 3 double quarter pounders and stuff like that. It was crazy. Yeah, it was funny, man.
All right. So when did you? Because there had to be a point, right? Like you said, that you said, I'm going to stop this and I'm going to do this, and there had to be some. Did you have that person that kind of put you under his wing to become?
Yeah. So when I got to Fresno, I started working at Sigma, right? So on my lunch break, I'll be on Instagram, all this stuff. And there's this guy on there, his name is BJ Whitehead, right? From Texas. I used to go to his Instagram and just like pretty much watch all his videos. I was like, he was huge, strong, 2K total, everything. And I'm like, man, I want to be like that guy, you know? How do you get that big and that strong? Because he looked like he was like jacked, you know, like just complete like, you know, similar to like an off-season bodybuilder. So I reached out to him, and really nice dude. Didn't really, you know, give me like words of motivation or anything like that, but it was like, yeah, dude, this is what I do, you know, I power lift, and he actually sent me a program for free, what he was doing, you know, and explained, like, broke it down to me, like, you know, this is how you need to do this and stuff like that. And I followed that for a little bit, and that's what really got me into it.
Right.
I didn't keep on following the program or anything like that. I started doing my own thing because I wanted to learn. And but yeah, that was one of the guys. And to this day, like I think like last year, he follows me. I follow him now. I reached out to him. I was like, hey, dude, like I started this because of you. You know, you really the one that got me into it. So which was pretty cool. Yeah, he's like a little bit older than me, probably in his 30s. He's a football coach and a gym teacher in Texas. He's actually sponsored by Animal Pack. He has a 2K total. But he had a whole bunch of like injuries and stuff like that. So he lifts, but he's really just starting to get back into it. But that was one of the persons that really got me into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool dude.
You don't realize when you're just posting your training videos on Instagram, or you know, just random stuff that you post on it, how much of an impact your post could have on
you make on
another individual.
Because some people reach out to me to this day and they're like, dude, like, and I'm like, really? I'm like,
yeah.
And I kind of like don't want that. I really don't want that, because I want them to like find out with themselves. Right. You know? I'm like, dude, I'm just a regular guy. I'm just like you. I'm like nothing more special than you are. Right. And that's how I see like all these top lifters. And that these people like bow down to them, or like just go crazy over them. Right. I feel like if more people focus on themselves and find out within themselves, then they can be like, you know, they can get stronger, or, you know, be what they want to be when it comes to, you know, powerlifting or training.
Right. But you need to fucking own that, because
and I own that.
You're inspiring somebody to make a change in their life.
Yes, and I do see that, and I think and I try to help as many people as I can. I appreciate the whole support that they give me. You know, there's not like a lot, but there's a few that reach out to me.
If you can change one.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I find that awesome, but at the same time, I tell them, hey, dude, like, you know, I'm just like you. Yeah. You know, I started just like you.
That's probably another reason why you inspired, because you know, hey, this guy's just like me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
I can do what he can do.
Because when it comes when it comes to it, it's just lifting weights. Yeah. I'm not saving babies. You know what I mean? I'm not doing open heart surgery or something. You know, like it's just lifting weights. But you know, if I can motivate at least one person, it's cool. I'm happy.
Yeah, well, that's cool. So going back to injuries, have you had or sustained any like major injury? I mean, obviously you're still working out, you're still doing big stuff, but have you had any injuries that sidelined you for any kind of time?
Recently, I've had injuries. I had tore my hamstring squatting, and I've had like minor pec tears there and there, but nothing like crazy. The only injury that have like taken me out of the game is just basically dumb decisions that I've made in the past.
Okay. Ego lifting?
No, I'm talking about more personal life decisions that I've made to the whole, depression and stuff like that. So that's the only thing that has come down to me stopping lifting and not lifting for a very long time.
Okay.
So
would you contribute the fact that you've had a longevity in your lifting, since early 20s or teenage years all the way to now, as part of your ability to realize that, hey, I got to do X, Y, and Z? In other words, like proper stretching, nutrition, proper warm up, and that kind of stuff.
So when I tore my hamstring, I used to go to the gym and just go straight on the squat bar. That's how I did no mobility or anything.
Yeah, your warm up was your first set.
Right.
Yeah.
To this day, until like a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, that I first came into here to Lemoore, that's when I actually started stretching. Because even the people that I used to train with, I didn't take this seriously when I tore my hamstring or my first meet or anything like that before. I didn't take this seriously. I didn't know anything about powerlifting. I was just like, I'm just going in there, lift the weights, and that's it.
Right.
I didn't start getting serious until I stepped into this gym, pretty much. If you want me to be honest with you, I didn't start getting serious until like 2 years ago, till like I started coming to this gym. Because before, I was just like, I had a clue about powerlifting, how to do movements and stuff like that, but I wasn't taking it seriously at all. I was just going into the gym because that's what I like to do. I didn't think I was going to be like competitive or anything like that.
Right.
But once I started competing and putting solid numbers, I was like, okay, well maybe I'll start taking this a little bit more serious.
Right.
And I started opening myself to reading more stuff, learning more stuff, stretching, mobility, incorporating different exercises into my routine, and I started getting a little bit more serious about it. But yeah, I definitely, mobility and stretching is a huge thing with me now. Like I usually spend like 30 to 35 minutes stretching prior to each session that I go in.
Right.
So, and I think that's a huge thing when it comes to powerlifting. And if you're trying to be the best that you can be, or even being competitive, the best powerlifter is the one that can stay in the game the longest.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Right. You have to train smart. You have to take care of the body you're putting immense stress on every single fiber, every tendon, every joint in your body.
It's not easy.
It's
definitely, it's not easy.
It's hard.
I mean, I pulled like 820 a couple days ago, and I still have like my face is like still bloodshot.
Right,
just all my blood vessels. Yeah, it's really not easy, but yeah, I think injuries, preventing injuries is a huge thing.
So, do you listen to your body? Like, if oh my God, hey, that didn't feel right here.
Right.
Are you gonna slow down on that day, or are you gonna push through and?
Well, like if you were to look at me like Kelly Best, you're like, oh, why are you doing this today? You know your body the best. If I come to the gym and even if I'm like hurting a little bit, I know if I can push it or not. You know what I mean? If I know that I cannot push it, I won't. I just, if I know it's just a minor ache or whatever, I'll push it to the limit that I need to do to complete the session.
Right.
But it's just knowing your body. I think if you know your body, you can actually tell when you're being stupid.
Right, 100%. Yeah, we always say that there's a difference between being hurt and being injured.
Right.
There's a big difference, and some people, if you can identify that within yourself to recognize, am I hurt or am I injured?
Yeah,
you can.
It's pain is just, it comes with it. You're getting under a certain amount of weight.
Right.
You're not just going to be pain free every single day.
No. things are gonna hurt.
Right.
Things are gonna creak.
Exactly, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
They're like, and I have clients that don't realize. Oh, I woke up well, okay, it hurts. Is it sore or what? You know, a lot of people don't realize that. It's just like you're not going to be pain free every day, and if you're pain free every day, you're not training correctly. That's how I see it.
Right.
That's how I see it.
That's good. No. So you brought up another topic of you're providing coaching to clients.
Yes, online clients.
How is that to actually? Because you're very hands-on with your clients, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you find that that transition from being, I'm going to train myself to actually applying your knowledge to other people? How do you?
Yeah, I have a lot of clients, and some of the stuff that before I even started coaching, to tell you the truth, I did my own programming and saw the things that worked for me and didn't work for me. And I did all my whole research on pretty much everything, that powerlifting and coaching and percentages and all these methods. So most of the stuff that my clients do, I have done it, before them doing it.
Right.
And they work. I mean, I think anybody can get strong if they're really consistent.
Right.
You can have like the shittiest program ever. If you come to the gym and have some kind of progressive overload, you're going to get stronger.
Right.
Regardless.
It's a natural reaction.
Yeah, it's just a natural reaction in your body.
Break down muscle, it's going to
you're going to get stronger.
regrow stronger and bigger.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I lost my train of thought right now.
Out here. Think. Burns, think. You got me right here, man.
I know.
After like a long time, man.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. Oh, so speaking of that, a lot of stuff has changed since we originally talked about doing this. You've recently competed.
Yes.
And you've attained your 2,000
Yes.
total. So give us those numbers.
Do you want the whole number?
Yeah.
Okay, I squatted.
Squat.
Yeah, I squatted 766, bench 451. Yeah, big bench. And I deadlifted 804.
804.
Total was 2,022 pounds.
2022.
Body weight 282, 308 weight class.
There it is. Yeah.
And I broke a record for California.
California state record.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it until like 3 weeks later.
That's right.
I didn't even know about it. But yeah, the 2K happened. It was crazy. I was excited, but I thought I was going to be a little bit more like excited, like
right.
pumped up.
Right.
I mean, I was, but I felt like I could have had way more. I felt like, okay, well, I could have, because I kind of played it safe a little bit there.
Right.
Because the whole goal was a 2K total.
Right.
It was just a whole goal going into the whole meet. It was just 2K. I just needed to hit the 2K. And once I did it, I felt like I could have done way more.
See, that's a athlete for you, where you attained that 2,000, and now you're already
Yeah.
looking. You're already looking to.
I was at
I need a
prior
21
to,
now.
Prior to deadlifts, I was like, okay, because I already knew. I was like, it's gonna happen. I already knew. I was
Right.
like, what's next?
Right.
And I kind of like after the meet, I was able to breathe a little bit better. I'm like, okay, I did it. And it was huge. Like, even I might not have looked like I was pumped up or anything, but it was a huge thing for me. Like, huge. When I first started powerlifting, this was like a huge thing. Like, I was like, I'm gonna do that. And for me, it's big because I've set out on different goals before, and I've never achieved them. Like, I always stopped midway because they were too hard. So by me, putting this goal up there and doing it and actually completing it, it felt awesome.
Good.
Yeah, it felt amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, especially from prior from 2 years ago, how I came into the gym. It was just like it was a huge thing for me. Yeah.
Big achievements.
It was It was a great feeling and a big achievement.
I was there, and it was a great day.
Yeah,
I knew you had it too, just from watching warm ups and stuff. I knew it was going to happen that day.
Yeah, just everything clicked. Everything felt good.
It was a good day.
Thanks for letting me your fruit cups as well. I appreciate that.
That was the secret. You owe me.
that was like 3 of them. I don't know.
That was the 2,000 total.
Dude, I was eating so many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Uncrustables. Listen,
yeah.
that's the key to success,
the key.
people. Uncrustables and fruit cups.
I ate like 10 of those. That was great.
Yeah, powerlifting secret 101.
Definitely. Yeah. The fruit cup is a new thing. I never,
The fruit cup.
Yeah,
yes.
I used to eat those in school.
Yes.
So when you brought them, I'm like, hey, I'll have some of that. They look good. So it was awesome.
Top secret stuff. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Fruit cups.
That's it. Sponsor us. What's up?
Dole, hit us up. So you just the other day you pulled. So in the meet you pulled 804.
804, yes.
So in the gym just the other day you pulled 820. 820?
Yeah, a couple of days ago, pulled 820, and a few days before that, I pulled 800 beltless.
Fuck you, man.
You didn't see that one?
I did. I might have.
You didn't see that? Yeah, I pulled 800 beltless.
Oh my god,
It was pretty sick.
that is sick.
That's after repping out 585 for like 10. But I just felt that was another goal of mine. I was like, I want to hit an 800 beltless.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everybody's hitting huge numbers. Like, it's normal to hit that.
You're absolutely right.
It's just like-
it's not a big thing anymore.
It's not a big thing at
It's
all.
like almost every other Instagram video you see is at 800 pull or something around those range.
And
700's become the normal.
yeah, it
almost.
just and it was just like, yeah, I pulled it because that was one of my goals. And actually, one of my off-season goals was to pull 820 by the end of the off-season, and I pulled that pretty early in the off-season. So I was pretty happy about that as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. So what's the
Let
future
it loose.
hold?
Let it loose. Burns,
What-
ask
what's the-
anything. Ask away. Ask away, man.
What's the future
I'm an
hold?
open book right now. Ask away. Ask away.
What's the future hold for Lazaro?
The future holds. I don't know. I really don't think about the future. I take it a day at a time. You know what I mean?
Day at a time?
Yeah. So I mean, for powerlifting,
Right, for Parlor.
the future is 2100.
2100.
That's the goal. That's the next goal. 2100 by the end of the year.
By the end of this year.
Yes, I am planning on competing at the end of the year. I
Okay.
have a couple meets that I'm set at, have my eyes set on, and that's the goal. 2100.
I think you got it.
Maybe a 900 pull. That'll be huge.
So 900 pull
By the end of the year,
and
I don't know. Who
2100
knows?
total.
Yeah, 2100 total.
That's pretty good.
That is the goal.
That 2000 puts you in a league, a class of its own. 2100 puts you even higher.
Yeah.
900 pull even higher.
I think the record for 308s is 941.
Who
The
holds
all time. KK, I think. I don't know.
KK?
Yeah, KK. What is his whole full name?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. I just say KK.
Yeah.
Yeah. he died. Sorry. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. I can't believe he died. That's crazy.
All right, so we've come to a point in the show
Yes.
that's called "What's on Your Instagram."
Okay.
All right,
All right.
so you got to bust out your phone,
Okay, that's fine.
pull out your Instagram,
All right.
and show the audience here what the first thing that pops up on your Instagram is.
On my newsfeed?
Yeah,
Tony Ferguson. That's the first thing.
Tony Ferguson.
There it is. He's a UFC
Right,
fighter.
So are you into UFC?
Yeah, I actually do love UFC.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Would you ever think about
No.
fighting?
No.
No.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
No.
I'm a lover, not a, no, I think it's a great sport. I don't know. The conditioning would be crazy.
It's insane.
It's insane.
I have friends that do just jiu-jitsu. They're not MMA, but they do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And to roll around on the ground for, I don't know.
I think a few hours.
It's so taxing on the
And
body.
it's become so popular, too. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm a big UFC fan, and yeah, I mean, I just like the sport and the whole thing about it. It's pretty cool.
Right.
I mean, I would like to train, maybe learn a few moves.
Right.
But get in the cage, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I'll probably get my ass whooped. I'll probably get my ass whooped.
You have no qualms about being
No,
punched
I
in
don't
the
want.
face?
Yeah, no, I try to avoid that. Yeah, no. No, I'm good on there.
Yeah?
Yeah, good.
You don't like when you were a kid, did you get into a lot of fights?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got into I got into a lot of fights. Going back, I used to be bullied a lot, So there's this kid in Cuba. I still remember. used to take my lunch every morning. That freaking turd. Every morning he used to take my lunch. So I'll come home without lunch. I wouldn't eat. I was chubby, and back there, taking people's lunch was a huge thing because you're struggling for food,
right?
So my lunch was nothing crazy. It was actually, and I tell this to Kelly, and she don't believe me. Like, I've been through the struggle. Like, our lunch back there was like literally a piece of bread with mayonnaise, a piece of bread with oil.
And you appreciated it.
Yeah, and it was good.
Yeah.
With salt, it was good. So my dad signed me up to karate. It was crazy. I learned a few moves, and actually the next time the kid tried to take on my lunch, I pulled some crazy move on him. It was crazy. It was pretty fun. I still remember. I never forget that.
The flying crane kick?
No, it was just like throwing my arms like like on top of him and stuff. And I was making the noises and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my dad was called, and my mom. I didn't get in trouble by them, but yeah. I got into a couple fights. Tend to stay as soon as I got into like high school and stuff like that. I kind of like step away from that. I don't really mess with people unless they mess with me or anything like that. Because I don't like how I turn.
No.
You don't. Yeah. I don't like any problems.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I might look like I'm ready like to kill people or something, or I just got out of jail or something, or like killed a few people. But I try to avoid scenes that may have problems and
confrontation.
Yeah, confrontation. Like,
yeah.
I just keep to myself. Well, you
right.
know that.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid those things.
That's cool. Yeah.
But don't try me.
Nothing wrong with that.
Don't try me.
I don't go looking for trouble, but I end.
Yeah,
trouble.
exactly.
Yeah.
Don't try me.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all the questions.
That's it. That's it. Man, I was just getting comfortable. That's it. Oh, man.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. You tell me. How about what's coming up for the gym?
Oh, the liftoff thing.
Yes. What is it actually called? The liftoff?
Push pull. I think
push pull.
Yeah,
push pull meet.
I don't know. It's going to be just a local push pull for reps.
Okay.
So whoever pulls I think it's going to be men are going to do their body weight for bench.
Yes.
Women for bench are going to do half their body weight. I think we've decided that there's not going to be any weight classes. So whoever does the most, there'll be first and second place winners.
Sweet.
And then for deadlift, men are going to do 1.5 times their body weight.
Okay.
For reps, and women will do their body weight.
And the prizes, what is it? What do we decide on doing? I don't know probably around $500 of supplements. So I don't know it's probably more, to be honest with you.
Right.
It's just a lot of supplements. And
powerlifting
gear.
Lifting gear, right? Yeah. So we'll decide on the breakdown between if we have enough, maybe a first, second, and third place winner. So there'll be a $30.
Everybody gets a protein bar. I have
Everybody
so
gets
many,
a protein bar.
I have a whole box at home. Like, I don't want to bring it here because it's probably going to melt inside here or something. But I have like a whole box. Yeah. I'm talking about like over 100 bars.
So everybody will get a protein bar. The second you come through the door, protein bar.
I'll be throwing out people.
So $30 to enter.
It.
$5 to spectate, and that includes a power bar.
That includes an animal power bar as well.
Yeah, early entries get a free T-shirt with your entry.
And 2 power bars.
And 2 power bars.
And 2 protein bars.
Yeah. So everybody leaves with something. It'd be
Definitely.
a good time.
It's going to be a good time. Food.
Food,
bring your own. Potluck. What are we doing?
I think we've leaned towards the potluck thing.
Okay, potluck.
Yeah. So
liquor. Low.
To be determined.
Mrs. Burns still.
Yeah. I'm sure if you get a red Solo cup, you'll be all right.
Yeah. It should be fun, though.
It'll be fun. And that's April 31st, I believe.
Yeah,
decided.
next month. Yeah.
So, that's what's going on.
That'll be sick. That's cool.
All right.
That's cool. Awesome.
Cool. Until next time.
We need to do this again. We need
maybe we'll have a guest
I don't know.
on.
Yeah, maybe we'll just do like a podcast every week. I don't know. Just talk about certain things.
We'll talk about the week's events, whatever
we should do that.
It's fun.
It's a good time.
It is.
This is my first time ever being on a podcast.
Yeah.
Like this. I think I did pretty good, right?
And I think I fucked up. I think the entire
this is not even recorded.
yes, the entire first half of this fucking thing was not being recorded.
Well, we have to rewind it.
No, but the audio on the camera would have picked this up. So we'll have like good audio in the beginning, or I'm sorry, bad audio in the beginning, and then halfway through it's going to be like, oh my god, they sound fantastic now.
Yeah.
What is happening here? Yeah.
I know.
So anyway, we can do.
Yeah, we should definitely do this.
We'll do this.
Maybe just like
we can do like even guest appearances.
Yeah, regular podcast or something, man. We just
through Skype we can interview people.
Yes, hell yeah.
So if you guys want to see more,
yeah, stop. Do you guys have a good following? Okay, there's a lot of people that come to this gym.
Bug.
Okay, so leave some feedback. No dumb shit. Jesse will probably leave some smart comment,
or leave dumb shit. I don't care. Whatever. All comments. He'd be
like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
I'll just
we'll just erase it. No,
scrolling. That's all we do. You know?
Yeah, just leave some feedback. What do you want to see?
Absolutely. Yeah. Who do you want to see? What do you want to see? Topics.
Topics. Definitely. We should definitely do this every week, every Sunday. You're off, so.
Yeah.
You have nothing else to do.
I
don't have nothing.
Literally nothing else to do.
So we should definitely do this.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is good.
All right.
Good
so
times,
until next time.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Peace. Sick. You did it.
Yeah, I'm serious. I didn't fucking take
for like man.
the first. I looked down at it and I'm like, hey, how come the red light's not on?
God, no.
Shit. But the camera did pick up all the